Hey guys, this is Builder, and this is a video, my first Gods and Kings video of a free-for-all with me as Ethiopia. And it's been a long time since I've made a video. I went on vacation for a while, and then I took a while to get used to some Gods and Kings. But I recorded this game I was playing, and it's pretty interesting, I think, so I decided I'd upload it. The strategies I'm using aren't nearly as optimized, I'd say, as some of my older ones with for Gods and Kings, because I haven't played Gods and Kings that much. So I probably will make a lot of mistakes, but I do some things right, and we'll see how the game goes. I've been trying to work out a new build order with Gods and Kings. With the way they changed Liberty, they pushed back the free settler in Liberty to where Republic was. You have to go 2 social policies in, and you won't be getting your free worker. So that nerf to Liberty it really kind of, it makes it hard for me to take Liberty. I mean, the timing doesn't quite work, and so I'm gonna try to do some tradition stuff. I might figure it out that that's actually not the way to go, but in this game I went tradition, and we'll see how it works out. Another reason I went tradition in this game is because of Ethiopia's unique building, the steel, which is a monument replacement, which gives faith in addition to culture. So I'll be able to get some massive faith production early, which will help me found my pantheon quickly and a religion, hopefully. Scouting around, I want to find a nice city spot. Without Liberty getting my free worker, my free settler, I have to hammer out the settler, and so it's a lot more painful to do. It just takes forever without the plus 50% production. Get a nice little reload. It's painful to produce all the settlers. It just takes forever, but we'll see. So my build order is basically, I want to get a scat out because I want to grab ruins. I want to see what the map is, where I want to put my cities, where my enemies or opponents are. And then sometimes I leave the monument, but with Ethiopia I get so much faith from it that I just go with the monument. Normally I'd go, with a lot of other civs, I try to go scout, and then worker, and then maybe a warrior or something, and then settler. But since I have the unique monument, I won't do that. With tech order, I'm just kind of playing around. I want to get up my luxury techs. I want to get I don't need to get pottery as much, because I don't need the shrine as much, because I'm already getting tons of faith from my steel. So I'm not going to, if a lot of other things, I'd go pottery a lot earlier. You always want to get animal husbandry if you have open tiles around, open grassland or plains, because that's nice. And then mining, because I have a mining lecturing, because I want to be able to chop stuff. So I find Geneva, which puts me way over what I need for a pantheon. I don't know, I'm thinking about what I want to found. I'm just going to go with my generic happiness on rivers. Oh, okay, yeah, I got the pantheon. There's a little bit issue of getting there before the turn rolled over, because I want to build a couple of cities on this river. I see one nice spot nearby me, and then I'll probably put another one lower down. Though if I don't think I'm going to settle above me, because it's just tundra and plains. But I definitely want to have another city, so I'll have to find another spot for a city. I'm bringing my warrior back to help protect my worker. I will start chopping some forest, or some forest to help speed up the settler. Also, I'm chopping the forest on the hill so that I'll be able to get another hill to work, so I can get more production focus for my settler. just dealing with barbs and city-states. I'm playing around with my workers, seeing how I can get my citizens in my city, seeing how I can get the most production possible for that settler. Take the monarchy for extra happiness, which will be helpful while I'm expanding, and also the food isn't as useful when you're building settlers. The landed elite. Also, just social policy-wise, through tradition, I'm just going opener, legalism in the middle for the free culture buildings, monarchy, landed elite, and then, of course, if somebody's attacking me, I'll take the oligarchy social policy, but otherwise I'll move on to aristocracy and take oligarchy last. Again, if somebody's attacking me or is going to attack me soon, I might just take oligarchy to try to preempt that and get some better defense. But otherwise, there's little point in taking it. You get the maintenance reduction, but that's not a huge bonus. Especially early in the game. Later in the game, if you have a bunch of cities, that could be useful, but not as much early. So I chopped a couple of forests. I'll be speeding up my settler a little bit. My settler will be coming out. I think I'm going to settle the tile I'm looking at right above the spices on my side of the river. So because I'm a little bit worried about the Aztecs coming and attacking me. So I want to be a little bit defensive if he tries to come at me. I'll start working on another settler. I'm not... Oh, and if you look down at the mini-map, you notice England has founded a city where I wanted to found a city, so that is annoying. It will be harder for me to get all the cities I will want in for this game, because that was a nice spot he just took. And I'm kind of shut off. There's not really that many other grid spots for a... for another city. I'd be getting the free settler from Liberty right about now, if I had taken Liberty, but I didn't take Liberty, so it's just kind of late to get stuff. It seems like so anyway, found my city, and I'm thinking about buying the horse tile, and I'm like doing math in my head because I'm thinking I'm working a grassland, and I realize I'm already working a deer, so it doesn't matter. And I'll gain the tile by the time I grow, so I'll be able to be working two food, one hammer tile, which are nice tiles to be working, because it keeps you growing, but you're still getting a little bit of production from it. I'm building a mine there. It might have been better to build the mine on the silver before I built it on the hill, but I'm still working both, so who knows. I'm gonna go for masonry and masonry. Mostly for the I don't know. I like the idea of the pyramids because the way I'm building is that I'll have like 3 cities out with only 1 worker, and so then the perfect amount of workers for me, it would be perfect for me to get just 2 free workers, and so the pyramids are a nice way to do that. Also, I'm thinking my city right now is in a pretty nice production location, so I'll be able to build the pyramids relatively quickly. I have the grains, or the wheats, and all the hills around my city for production, so hopefully... I'm looking up how much production a settler is. It made more sense back when I did it. I was like comparing... I don't remember, I was comparing the prices of something. Cost of producing a settler. Maybe how Liberty is giving you free settler. How many hammers that is. Who knows. Because that certainly is a strong policy in Liberty. The free settler and the plus 50% production from it. Another nerf on Liberty is that, in general, when you get free great people, it increases the cost of other great people. So in your cities, you build up great person points, which, by running specialists, by getting great person points from wonders and such. And before you would get when you get a great, once those points build up to a certain threshold, you get a great person of that type. So if I'm getting 2 great scientist points, which are probably the great person you want per turn, and once I'll be getting that, once that reaches the threshold, I forget what the first threshold is, it might be 67 or something. Once it hits that threshold, you get a free great scientist. But in Gods and Kings they changed it so that instead of just when you get a free great person, that cost increases to the next level. So now, so you take a free great scientist, you still have the great scientist points in that other city. However, you then need to hit the threshold of like 130 or something great person points. So it kind of cancels out some of the benefit you're getting from the free great person from Liberty. That was a long explanation. If you guys need me to explain it more, you can ask in the chat. I can explain it a little bit more sensibly. So with nowhere better to go, I'm just going to plop my settler down. He's kind of in the middle of the desert, but a lot of the deserts are hills, so that'll give me production. A desert hill is just as good as any other hill. I'll be able to get a couple of oasis. I'll get a cow, a couple plains to farm. That city probably won't grow that well. Although, okay, well, that's what I was thinking when I built it, but then afterwards I built the, I'm not sure what wonder it's called, but it's a wonder that gives +1 production, food, and gold from desert tiles. And the crazy thing is it applies to all tiles, even like the sheep tile, the hills tiles, so those tiles just became crazy tiles. And so that city was able to grow normally because of that. It essentially turned the plains tiles into, or the desert tiles into plains tiles, and the hill tiles into crazy tiles. You'll see it better once I build that wonder in that city. In terms of, so, my general policy, first build in cities is the granary, because that will help my production. I try not to build workers, or workers also help production, obviously, but I try not to build workers from small cities, because you can build workers in larger cities, and then you can just move those units out to the smaller cities. And so it's like moving production from the large cities into the small cities, so that the small cities can get started quicker. And then once you get the granary, you can work on more hill tiles and still grow, or just work more hill tiles without starving. And so that's why I try to build the granaries early. I could go for libraries early to increase science, but I'm not. It's not that helpful. The libraries aren't that helpful in small cities. I'd only be getting 1 or 2 science from those small cities. Anyway, I found El Dorado, obviously. Not obviously. I found El Dorado, but I wasn't the first, so I didn't get gold from it. But England got the gold. So England is now using his gold to purchase a lot of military units, and is going to go attack. What's his face? The Aztecs. And so, obviously, being a warmonger myself, I know that once you take somebody over, you're not just going to stop there, you're going to try to keep on using your military for stuff. So I changed my tech up to go for construction for composite bowmen, and hopefully, and I'm building archers in most of my cities. I'm going to finish the granary in Harar, because it was most of the way done, and so I'm only spending a little bit of extra production to get it, and it'll help me back. Whereas in my other city, which is in the desert, I can't see its name right now, it wasn't very far along on the granary, so I'm just gonna ditch it for now and build some archers. If you look at my faith, you can see I'm getting a ton of faith right now, way more than other people would be able to be getting, because again, of the legalism gives me the free steel in all of my cities, and that gives me 2 faith everywhere. So that's very powerful. I haven't had to do anything. I'm getting way stronger faith production than other people. Once I finish the granary in Harar, I'm gonna pump out walls, because I don't know, I like the new walls in Gods and Kings, the way it adds hit points to a city, and that makes it so that it just takes a really long time for, especially archers, since archers aren't very powerful versus cities. It'll be very difficult for him to take down a walled city with a bunch of archers. Yep, it's Skill Dorado, because it takes a lot of skill to find it. Only good players find Skill Dorado. So I'm going production focus with Harar to get the walls out, hopefully before all the archers show up. And I'm gonna get construction. My demographics wise, I'm doing pretty well, because my city spots are pretty good. I have pretty decent land right now. My capital, obviously, with the double wheats and all the hills. My Harar is at a nice spot too. It has some hills, some deer, some sheep. So that's very nice. Adwa is doing well right now, because it hasn't run out of tiles to work yet. Although once I get whatever the wonder's called, I'll be able to have a lot better growth there. I switched off construction for a turn so that the city of Adwa would be able to finish another archer. I have plenty of gold right now, because I have pretty good gold production, because I have a couple of cities that have been on rivers the whole game. His capital city, Tenochtitlan, is at 0 hit points, so all England has to do is get a melee unit safely to Tenochtitlan to be able to take it over. And meanwhile, I am 2 turns away from construction, so I'll be able to get my composite bowman ready before he attacks me, which is very nice. Also, the walls will probably be finished before he starts attacking it, because to attack my city, he's going to have to kill off a couple of my archers. So the walls are going to be finished. I'll have composite bowmen for him to come and attack. Be very good. Although long term, he will be getting longbowmen, so that's something to be concerned about. Longbowmen are very annoying to deal with. I'm just trying to see if the Aztec player will be able to hold out for very long by killing off all melee units which come nearby his city. We'll see if that works for him. Now that I've finished that archer, I'll go back to the granary in, I forgot what the city's name is again. I don't know all the city names that they have in Gods and Kings. yet. Anyway, I'm not going to bother going for iron. I used to always go for iron in my old games, because it was powerful tech, but now in Gods and Kings it's a lot more expensive, and it's swordsmen are weaker than pikemen, so there's not as much of a point, because before, even though you might have not that much iron, this swordsman was still a really powerful unit. You'd still have you'd still be better than the pikemen even once they got pikemen. Pikemen would be more expensive and weaker than a swordsman just in base strength. But now that it's weaker, it's like, and it just takes forever to get to. What's really the point? I mean, it would take less time for me to get to iron than civil service, obviously, but it's not as worth it. So I'll get some horseback riding, because horsemen are a nice counter to archers. I'll hopefully get a couple of archers to support some of my units. I'm going to declare war on England a bit preemptively, because that's where I'm assuming he's going to attack next. And also maybe I'll be able to save the Aztec if he can hold off melee units from getting to his capital. Come to think of it, there, I might have been able to declare war on the Aztec player and killed off that warrior there, and helped protect and save the Aztec, but I didn't think of that at the time. I didn't think of, because to enter his land I would have had to declare war on him, because open borders agreements are now unlocked at civil service way later, obviously. And as you can see, the Aztec player just died. We will see if I can maybe take back the Aztec capital and puppet it. I might have liberated it if he had had another city, or if that city, if Tenochtitlan was a bad city, but I won't, because he's eliminated, so I can't liberate it. Or I could liberate it, but it would be an AI. Actually, come to think of it, liberating an AI wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Once I see that he has a bunch of archers back there, and he's upgrading the composite bowman, I'm going to just pull back. I don't want to have just a one-on-one fight. I want to be in an advantageous situation. I want him to be attacking like at my city, and where he's at a disadvantage. And I have, extra healing because I'm in my territory. I have the city bombard, stuff like that. As you can see, this player that I'm playing against is actually pretty fast. He's a little bit faster than I am, so sometimes he'll be able to get off quick moves before me. So anyway, I'm going to found Zoroastrianism. It's my favorite religion to found just because it sounds cool, and because the logo is like a little bird whistling. As for my beliefs, I almost always go for, at least at this point, again, this is one thing that I'm still learning Gods and Kings, but at this point I feel like the happiness bonuses in religion are some of the more powerful bonuses. There's other ones that can be powerful too, but those are the ones I'm doing right now. Because just happiness gives you more. When you have more happiness, you can build more cities, and then more cities can give you whatever you want. You can build more stuff, you can get more culture, you can, although that culture might be a little bit counter because increasing social policy costs, but yeah. Other policies I would consider are production policies, or not policies, religious beliefs. Other beliefs I would consider are like production beliefs. As in terms of, I like the idea of faith warriors. I think that could be pretty powerful, buying warriors with faith, buying units with faith, if you had a lot of faith especially. What else would be powerful? In terms of founder belief. I like the ceremonial burial for the happiness in the city. The other ones that I think are powerful would be the 100 gold when you convert a city. That seems powerful. I like state property or church property would take a while to kick in, and so would tithe. I like ceremonial burial because you don't need to have a certain number of citizens in the city, and I don't know, just happiness. And when you have just so much happiness, you can just build cities everywhere and just get a lot of production out of it, a lot of whatever you want. So, I might change what beliefs I like. For an enhancer, I like to take the printing press, or not printing press, the religious text, because it just makes the religion spread faster. I don't really like to buy missionaries because, well, at least in single player, it makes the AI mad at you, especially when they have a religion. It makes the AI mad at you if they have a religion. And I'd rather be spending my faith on pagodas. And later on for industrial free great people. Although sometimes I accidentally get another great profit, which I don't intend to do. So that's something that I still need to optimize a bit. Just building up production and stuff. Once I get my production buildings, and I might as well get some more military. Again, I'm not really bothering with shrines in this game just because I have already a bunch of faith, and I'd rather build other stuff. It might be good to get it just as a little boost, but I already have 6 faith, so another one isn't critical. Same with Stonehenge. I mean, the 5 faith isn't quite as important as it would be otherwise. And that was kind of a stupid move to move my warrior there, because he would be able to attack me. I come to think of it, the Hanging Gardens would be very powerful in my... I thought of that just when I did it, is that the Hanging Gardens would be very powerful in my capital, because my capital has a lot of hills, a lot of plains, which are high production, a lot of high production, low food tiles, and that's where the Hanging Gardens is really a very powerful wonder. Even though it was nerfed a little bit in the Gods and Kings, so it only gives 6 food now, that's still, imagine that's providing the food for 3 citizens to be able to work hill tiles, and if all those hill tiles are mined, that's 3 production per mine. 3 times 3 would be 9. That's 9 extra production per turn. That's more than the ironworks, and it comes earlier. So that's a very powerful bonus to get in your capital. Of course, you can just use it for growth, but it's not quite as useful when you're doing it like that, because the difference between, say, 20 and 26 food is a lot less important than, I'd say, 6 production. Or the difference between, say, 2 excess food and 8 excess food or something. I'm trying to fast move to be able to kill that composite bow, but he moved too quickly for me. He insta-healed and was able to get away, so that's frustrating. Again, this guy's a little bit faster than I am, I think. He's played a bit. When I get El Dorado, I prefer not to use it for military. I mean, I guess sometimes I do use it for military, but I think I'd buy a worker. As I said, I'd buy a worker, buy a settler. Try to get in a strong position in the future. Because taking over cities it's nice, and it's one way to win the game, obviously, is that if you can kill your opponents, but getting a free puppet capital isn't that useful. Because it's a puppet, you don't decide what's producing, so it's not going to give you a lot of tech, right? Because you're not going to be able to put in a university really quickly and put in the specialists. You're not going to be able to build units out of it to get stuff. You're going to get a little bit of culture and some gold out of those cities, and also they'll cost you some happiness. So overall, I mean, taking over an enemy capital can be helpful. I mean, if you have a lot of happiness, you might as well do it. But if you don't really have the happiness, then it's not that beneficial. So I'd rather just get a worker and just start my empire faster. I'm gonna start my library in Harar for National College, so I can get some more tech. Because hopefully I'll be able to, once he gets to longbows, I'll be able to tech pass that to muskets and rifles to be able to kind of obsolete those the powerful longbowmen. I'd say the fact that the longbow, or that the musket is so much more powerful now is a little bit of a nerf to the musket, to the longbow, but people say that arch range units in general are a lot more powerful now in Gods and Kings. So this is the wonder I'm building. I didn't see what it's called. I think it's called, maybe it's called the Petra, but I think it gives +1 production food and gold on all desert tiles, and I didn't think it would even apply on the hills. Anyways, I've almost finished the Hanging Gardens, which will be very nice. It'll help me long term with production, to be able to just pump out a bunch of units, because it looks like England is a relatively strong player, so my fight with him will be bloody, and I'll lose a lot of units, and I'll need to replace those units quickly. I'm just playing around with city management to see if I can finish Hanging Gardens this turn, because I want to take less of a risk in losing it, because I realize now how powerful getting a Hanging Gardens will be in my capital. And the city manager messed up and made it so I didn't get the Hanging Gardens that turn. There's some barbarians also up above attacking me, but I don't really feel like spending military units to go deal with them, so I'm just gonna start mining stuff. I'll mine stuff, but I'll do it further away from the barbarians with my worker. I'm gonna get the pyramids now, because I already have a couple of workers, but again, with tradition, I'm not getting as fast workers, and I might as well start getting some wonders, because you know, some people are right there. Genghis Khan quit, and Montezuma's gone, and Spain is gone, so they're not building as many wonders, so hopefully I'll be able to get the pyramids safely. It's not, the pyramids aren't as useful with tradition as liberty, because if you get the pyramids with liberty, you can build roads and chop forests in one turn, whereas because you combine the bonus from the pyramids with the bonus from the citizenship. As you can see right here, he's doing kind of some interesting stuff with some citadels. If you pause the video to read it, you can read that one of the changes they put in Gods and Kings is that a citadel takes over adjacent borders. So it's kind of like a culture bomb from vanilla Civ5. Vanilla being, of course, before the expansion. I have oligarchy, so if with my garrisons I will be able to do a little bit more damage. And at this point he's kind of closing in on my city, so we will see if he's able to take it. I'm still building my composite bowmen. He doesn't have any siege units at all to be attacking the city, so it's going to be a little bit tough because the composite bowmen, either way, are 11 range strength, and my city is 17 range strength, pretty powerful. And there he just blew up and put another citadel down, taking my land. The citadel gives him plus 100% defense and will do 30 damage to all adjacent units. And I think it's a little bit stupid that this actually includes the unit which is currently inside my city right now. So it'll be harder for me to keep a garrison in the city because the citadel will actually be damaging my unit faster than it can heal inside the city, which, again, I think is stupid. I was a little bit mad when this happened in the game because it's like I didn't understand how citadels worked, and I felt that it was kind of cheap that his unit was damaging mine inside my own city. Because it's like, it's my city, there's a wall there. Anyway, but let that pass. Will England be able to conquer Ethiopia? Find out.